Greetings, Chef Dan Catania here at MealPro Test Kitchen.
Okay, go.
So I'm going to show you a diabetic rub that's not going to spike your blood sugar. Here we go. Okay, and some of the juices on there are all right, that's no problem. But I like to take and just kind of use a little paper towel and dry that off and get that off that, okay? Or you could just rinse it with a little bit of cold water if you like. It's entirely up to you, but I just take a paper towel and then just kind of like dab it a little bit here just to get the juices off of the meat. Okay, so it's a real nice lean piece of flank steak. It looks really beautiful. Okay, so the first step that I do is I take a little bit of honey to get a little bit of honey, if you like, any type of honey that you have at the store. So I'm going to take the honey, okay, and I'm going to pour this honey right in my cup. About maybe a good tablespoon. Okay, and that's right there. I set it aside because I'm through with that. And then you could go to the store and you could buy those small little bottles of liquid smoke. Either hickory smoke, you could buy oak smoke, you could buy a combination of smoke, but it's a liquid smoke. So I have about a half a teaspoon of this liquid smoke that I'm going to add right into my honey. Okay, and then I'm just going to stir that up. So it's honey and liquid smoke that I have, right? Into this cup. So this is going to be spread onto my meat. That smoked flavor. Okay, so I have a little bit of a pastry brush here, so I'm going to take that and then just brush that over my meat on both sides with the liquid smoke and a little honey. The honey gives it a real nice little sweet taste to it as well too. Okay, so you could do this with chicken breast, you could do this with pork chops, you could do it with pork loin, you could do it with anything that you would desire to barbecue. Okay. And then I'm going to flip that over. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with the liquid smoke and the honey on this side. If you don't want to put the honey, but I don't know why you wouldn't, because I think it tastes great with liquid smoke, you could use something else. You could just use maybe a little bit of water and then some of the liquid smoke to spread on it. Okay, so that's about how I want that. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. Now let's talk about our spices. So you could buy a lot of the spice blends at the store. You know, barbecue smoke type, so you can make your own. So in this case, I have a mixture of two. I bought a little small of a smoky honey barbecue sauce mix, dry mix, but I'm going to add some other ingredients into it just to give it a little bit of a kick. Okay, so I have some granulated garlic, so I'm going to go like a half of a teaspoon in there, set it aside. I have onion powder, about a half a teaspoon of that, set that aside. Okay. And then I have also some celery salt, okay? And I want to be careful with a lot of that salt. You got to be careful with a lot of that salt. So if you notice, I'm not putting any sugar. I'm using honey as well too. So cutting down on my sugar, cutting down on my salt. A little celery salt there, okay? And then next I have is what we call Mrs. Dash, or a salt substitute. And it has a blend of different types of like herbs and spices. You could buy that at a local store. Okay, just go into the spice section. And I like using like maybe a good teaspoon of that right in my mix. Okay, and at that point I'm just going to mix that all up. So the first phase of this, you could leave this overnight with this rub on it in the your refrigerator, wrap it up and put it in a vacuum sealed bag, and then have it that way in the refrigerator, and then use it. It'll keep longer. So at this point I'm just going to take and generously put this seasoning mix that I have on both sides of my meat. Okay, I'm just going to press it down in there. So now it has that honey, liquid smoke, all my great seasoning rub mix on top of it. Okay, I'm going to flip that over. Okay, and this has the honey and the liquid smoke that's on there as well too. I'm just going to take it, I'm going to put my seasoning mix on there, generously put a nice amount on there. And then at this point what you want to do is you just want to make sure that you cover it up with some clear wrap. You can leave it on the same plate or on a casserole dish after you have it rubbed. Cover it with that clear wrap and let it sit for about maybe a good 35-40 minutes or maybe even an hour. Well, I hope you enjoyed this diabetic rub. And you know what? I'm doing it because of the fact that I know it's good, because I eat it and there's no problems that I have after I eat this beautiful diabetic rub that has no sugar added. Okay? So you take it easy. Have a great, wonderful 4th of July. Arrivederci.